Bum, 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 bum. Who's going to write lyrics to that? Someone needs to, right? We are going to explore the law of attraction. You're gonna have to take some action. Gotta do my thing over here, which I did poorly. So now I'm gonna have to start over. Back up, go back in, Bob Doyle Show. That's where you are right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's the law of attraction version of this thing that we do called the Bob Doyle Show, which is divided into all sorts of different categories. Okay. I love the way that Dawn starts the conversation with, this should be a good one. Now, is that a prediction or is that a command? This should be a good one, Bob, okay? We've let you slide for quite a number of them. This should be a good one. Taken under advisement. Good morning, Sarah. Am I helping you to like Tuesday mornings? Well, you know what? Then I should do this on Monday mornings. Maybe it'd help me like Mondays. You know, I never used to care about Mondays. Can I tell you a secret real quick before we get into the meat? As a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, if you, why is my stream bouncing? If it's not making me happy, this better be working over there on Facebook. Ugh, the bouncy streams, this yellow blinking. You know what? I'm not gonna divert. We got too much to do today. Too many things. Now look, this is about answering your law of attraction questions. So, ideally, you have them. Thank you, Sarah, for this little bit of feedback. Aren't they all good ones? Now, Sarah and Dawn are both in my coaching group, and when they read the description, they probably were thinking to themselves, "Oh, he's talking about what came up in our group yesterday. How convenient for him. He didn't have to come up with any new ideas. He just took from what he talked about yesterday in the group coaching." That's right. So if you want to have first dibs at what I talk about in group coaching, well, there's a way to do that. Wouldn't you like to know what it is? I'll bet you would. Okay. Good morning, Holly and Marian. Okay. No, you didn't miss it. Marian did not miss it. Let's, in fact, do I have applause? I thought I had applause there. Wait a minute. I think I do. Because, yes, Marian, who got the notification finally, is here. I can't tell you how many. If I had $1 for every time I got a comment from Marian that says, "I missed it, I'm not getting notifications," I wouldn't have to do anything for a living. I would just live on the dollar bills that flood my mailbox. Okay, look, see, she's taking a bow. Well, I say look, like as if you could see. And her comment's not law of attraction. See, I guess so. Here's the thing. I enjoy doing this so much, I just want to have some fun up front. Is that so wrong? You know, I've had people tell me, Bob, you know, when you do these things, just get into the content. People don't, you know, that's what you said, law of attraction Q&A. That's what they expect. Why do you have to ramble on forever? Well, first of all, it's not forever. You're exaggerating. So if you're an exaggerator in life, you need to look at that because it can affect your ability to manifest. And even though that sounds like half a joke, it's really not. I could actually do a whole program on people who blow things out of proportion and what that does to their sense of reality. You know those drama people. Oh, this, that, the other thing. It's the worst thing ever, right? And that's their view on reality, etc. Anyway, see what happened? Got off on a little bit of a tangent there. Okay, so a couple of things before we get into it. I promise I will. First of all, if you're a first-time viewer for this, what I'm about to say may not rush you into action. But if you do want to get notified when these Law of Attraction Q&As go live, there's a way that you can do that. And if one of my minions would type in bobdoyleshow.com/LOA notify, because I clearly can't do it, well, that would be great. And that would give everybody the ability to click that link and then engage in a short little Facebook Messenger conversation, which just verifies that you want to get the notification. Some of you are here because you got notified. Remember Marian from just a few minutes ago? Do you remember that whole thing about notification? That's the sure way not to miss these. And again, if this is your first time, you're going, I miss what exactly? What am I missing? Okay, well, we're getting to that. We're getting to the meat. All right. Dina and Nino are here. Steve is here, just joined us too. All right, awesome. Thank you, Dawn, for putting up LOA. And Nori is here with her hearts. Okay, all right. And Nino got his notification too. So see, it works. It's a process that works. Also, you can like this page. That's right. Now, whether you're watching this here on Facebook, on the Bob Doyle Show page, see, this gets shared to all these different weird places. If you're not on the Bob Doyle Show page, if you're in any of my other Facebook page properties, well, you need to come over to the Bob Doyle Show page and like it. And then again, tell all your friends and neighbors to do the exact same thing. You'll feel so much better about yourself, I promise. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. And people have been doing that, and I appreciate that. And I wish that you would continue to do it forever. Although once is really enough, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so here's the discussion point of this until somebody has a question, which is why I'm here, remember. But let's face it, I do always have a dual agenda. There's always something I want to talk about. And in this case, it's this whole idea of what are the questions you're asking yourself? When you're looking at your life, and this is mostly in the context of things that you're not enjoying. Unpleasant experiences, negative experiences, whatever, those types of things. Like the why is this happening kind of questions. Why does this always happen? So let me give you a few examples of these types of questions. Why is this law of attraction not working for me? Why do none of my business ventures work? Why can't I attract my ideal partner? Why are all men jerks? Why are all women whatever? See, I won't even come up with one. That's how careful I'm being on that one. But look, who's guilty of asking those questions? Raise your hand. And that means click a like or do a thing. Let me know. Who does that? Now see, it's kind of a trick question for my coaching group because we already went through this yesterday. They're not going to admit to it. All right? Seriously. How many, when you're evaluating your life, especially if you're a student of the law of attraction, this is even more pertinent for you because you need to know what's happening here. Are you asking these questions? Because here's what the thing is that we're trained to problem solve, right? The ego looks for what's wrong, right? And why is this not working? So we can logically figure it out and solve this problem. Sarah says she used to do that, and of course Marian says moi never, and the use of the French language obviously is denoting sarcasm. Isn't that weird how culturally we just understand that if you start with moi, that you're being sarcastic? But probably not in France. Okay. I'm ready for one. Nino, you can ask questions at any time. And I'll just stop what I'm doing. And then I can always go back to it if I remember. But here's the main problem with that. Is if your focus is all on the problem. That's basically it. Why are all men jerks? Here's the thing. You're sending a message to the universe at a vibrational level that the base supposition is men are jerks. The base supposition is I can't make money. The base supposition is that I can't attract words, an ideal partner. So when you put that out there and you're trying to figure out why, you're trying to figure it out as if it's a truth. And what you're telling the universe energetically and vibrationally is, it is a truth that I cannot attract another partner. Why? This is not the answer. These are not the answers you want. This is not the question you want answers to. It's the exact opposite. Because what will you get? Why are all men jerks? You'll only get validation that they are. How is that empowering? Oh, now I know. Good. Are you happy? No, because now men are jerks in your life because you've, whatever. Why can I not make money? And then what shows up? All the ways that you're not making money. To verify, to confirm the basic truth that you have stated in the very presence of your question. Is this making sense to everyone? Think about that while I pause just for a moment to answer this question from Himanshu. Does affirmations work? And if yes, then I do it before I sleep. That is it. So, affirmations can work, but what happens, right? I mean, everybody knows what happens when you first try to use affirmations. I'm healthy and fit and lean. And meanwhile, the reflection in the mirror is telling you something different, right? So you do that affirmation and your ego screams, no, you're not. What are you doing? So you have this constant battle back and forth. And so therefore, affirmations can be very slow to work unless you use them in conjunction with some sort of a release technique, which is what you can do to deal with the negative stuff that comes up. Right? When all those little, when that negative voice comes up, all those voices from your past, whatever it is, the judgments, there are ways that you can deal with that as they come up. And these are the release techniques, things like emotional freedom technique, right? The Sedona method and others. So if you use affirmations in conjunction with the release technique, it's going to be infinitely faster. Well, I shouldn't say infinitely, but real darn infinitely -1 faster if you release while you're doing it. Because the counter thoughts will always come up. Of course they will come up. Of course they will. And depending on how hooked in you get emotionally to them, they're going to have an impact on your manifestation abilities. Marian says, how come her question isn't showing up over here yet? Maybe it just got up there. All right, let me answer Nino's. Here I go. I'm a very faithful Catholic who also believes deeply in the law of attraction. The biggest problem I have, what I think is blocking my progress, is how to reconcile the two. Having read your book, I think you the best person to ask this. Well, thank you very much. Okay, so I've got full-length videos out there about this whole concept of God, religion, the science, and all the languaging of it. Okay, now one does not preclude the other. So I'm just going to touch on this because it just goes super deep. To me, God, Creator, universe. I know some people can really hate it when that gets all lumped in together and do the whole whatever you call it kind of thing. I really don't mean to sound like one of those people because I know everybody does it. But to me, it's all one thing. It's all one unbelievably massive, infinite, intelligent thing of which we are a part, and we get this experience of individuation as a way for the universe to experience itself. That's a theory. You know, and so we manifested with all the senses and stuff, so we actually get to see and feel and taste and all that, plus all the other senses that a lot of people mainstream ignores. To have this really deep, rich human experience. And all of these laws, the law of attraction, how energy works, it was all put into place by this intelligence, clearly a loving intelligence. You know, put it all together in just the right way so that we could have this. And that we are built in with our imagination and our passions, all these things that make us unique. The ability to visualize something that isn't there in the physical. Why do you think we would have that ability? Why would this infinitely intelligent, creative force, God, create us with all of these things if we weren't meant to utilize them, right? Our imaginations, our passion, our ability to take action, our intuition, all of these things are here saying you are a reality creation machine. You're here to experience it, to create it. You've got these desires because I want you to fulfill them. I want you to have the feeling. This is a unique thing for you. Go for it. I want this. The fact that we're here should say, now go for it. Enjoy. Why Would we be here to not enjoy? Why would we be here to suffer? To have these aspirations and no ability to get them? When you look at the magic of the universe, the unbelievable magic that is the universe, and the things that we take for granted every day, just unbelievable. The things that man has accomplished. Seemingly just unbelievably impossible things, and yet we doubt that we can create our reality, that we can have a vision and move into alignment with it, and that we can take action congruent with it and have it show up in our life. Guys, it doesn't have to occur as magic. It's very practical. The law of attraction moves us into, if we are in the flow, we move into logical action, which just boom, 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 it just makes it happen. No magic required. But it's through utilizing these principles that we move into alignment with that desire. We get our intuitive nudges. We're told what to do. We're told the next action to take. Now, whether we do it or not, that's up to us. That's our ego and our limiting beliefs and the things that we've learned. We've learned all of this limitation, and man did that. Man created the idea of limitation. I'm getting a little ramped up here, aren't I? Okay. I love that there is a person watching here on YouTube whose name is I Love Q&As. Now, OCC in my head, I have no idea what that means. I could be being insulted. Hi, Kathy. Okay, so Dina says, how do I stay on LOA track in the midst of emotional downs with the abusive relationship? I'm looking to the direction of positive change, but there are moments of sadness. Yeah, so life is a wave just like everything else. Energy is a wave. We have our ups and we have our downs. And knowing that for every up there is a down, and for every down there is an up. You know, the thing about the downs is, now let's go back to what I was just saying, the miracle that we are and that we have all these emotional feelings. And the good feelings feel good for a reason. We're probably meant to hover there the most, right? But we wouldn't even know they were good feelings if there weren't bad feelings. They would just be feelings, whatever. But also sometimes, especially the way that we've been brought up and how we've learned and the choices we make and the beliefs that we have, the limiting beliefs we have, we get drawn off path. We make choices that maybe aren't in our best interest, in alignment with who we truly are. We might have made choices for various reasons, whatever. To take action, to not take action. And as the more we move out of alignment, the more negativity shows up in our life. And so so when we have those down feelings, they're just a signal. It's time to make some adjustments. If you are making the adjustments, then that alone should help you to feel better, just knowing that you're taking action. Right? That the upswing is coming. It's really, it takes faith, and in the really tough times, and I was actually going to talk about relationships today. I was going to do that, but next time I will. Again, because of just how present it is in our group coaching program and how much of an impact it is, just to address Dina's very point. You know, close emotional relationships make us, we're just a little crazy. It's harder for us to be objective about things, you know, and there's a lot of, boy, that's easier said than done stuff when it comes to, well, here's what you should do from a law of attraction point of view, right? Well, just create the vision and do the release techniques and all that, and that is the answer. However, the experience of it is still hellish sometimes, and so it just takes extra amounts of releasing, extra amount of vigilance, and extra amount of staying in that in the mindset of the future and where you want to go. Extra amounts of support, you know. There's really not much. There's really no other secret. You know, when it really comes down to it, our mindset and how we're interpreting things is kind of our choice based on what we've learned. So if we have a down day, it's because we're making a series of decisions in our head that tell us that we should feel this way. And when you break it down like that, you go, well, then I could make a series of, because those are kind of unconscious decisions. What if I was consciously thought of something else? What if I thought about the good possible outcome? Just in our group the other day, somebody posted a video that somebody had talked about this basically finding the gratitude and the greatness in any bad situation. In this case, they were robbed of all their stuff after, I think, a honeymoon or something like that. $200,000 worth of stuff. This was the gist of it. But in that moment, the guy was like, how can this be a good thing? And he extrapolated all of these things of how it could be good. And this is a choice. Your ego doesn't want you to do it. It's not going to be easy to jump ship from knowing I should be mad, I should be upset, I should be sad, I should be all these things that we learn that we should be about a particular situation, particularly in relationships. Your ego isn't going to want to even entertain the concept that you can be happy, that you can be excited. But you can. Nino says, I agree with everything you just said, but what about LOA and praying? I have a recording called something about LOA and prayer, law of attraction and prayer. My belief is we're in a constant state of prayer. Here's my definition of prayer: is communication with the infinite intelligence, okay? It could be talking to God, it can be however, you know what I'm trying not to say what I'm trying not to say. We're in constant, we never unplug. We're constantly telling the universe or God what we want by saying what is, constantly. We're in a constant state of prayer, whether we're intentional about it or not. So prayer, as you're talking about, is just an intentional conversation. It is I am now sitting down and I am blocking out everything else and I am being clear on what I am directing, the communication I am directing to God at this time. But it's not like you're not talking the rest of the time. You absolutely are. And you're saying things like, today sucks, today's great, I don't have money, I don't have a good relationship, I feel happy today, I feel sad today. You're saying all of these things, and the universe is matching that vibrationally all the time. It's doing its best to match it all the time. So just remember, you're always praying. I'm not going to share that one YouTube comment that's up there because, you know. But if you're curious, you can go find it and laugh at it yourself. Okay. So, yeah, asking the wrong questions. That was the original thesis statement. So this is the thing I want you to be tuned into as you go through your day. Are you asking questions in the negative, making a negative supposition? And just see if you can catch yourself. And then ask the opposite. You know, why does every business idea I have work so wonderfully? Why is everyone so happy to see me? Why are men / and or women so awesome to me all the time? Because when you start looking for the answers to those questions, those are the answers you will find. They may be slow in coming at first because your ego is going to fight every step of the way. That's not even true. Why are you saying that? But when you start asking the right questions, you'll start getting the right answers. Himanshu, I have no idea. He's asking if Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, and all those use the law of attraction technique. Here's the deal. I mean, some people will succeed and have everything they want and not have a clue about the law of attraction. Not have one vision board, no techniques, no nothing. It'll just happen. Why? Because you don't need to know this unless you've got so much other knowledge that is blocking this from being a reality in your life. That's basically it. So the people who just glide through, they just don't have the resistance. This is what it's all about. The work, if you will, around the law of attraction is identifying and eliminating the resistance, the energy and the beliefs and those thoughts that stop you from being able to maintain a vibration of alignment with what you want for any given amount of time, because there's so much noise in your head. So many things telling you why you can't do it. And so many people around you telling you why you can't do it. Right? All right. But if you're not brought up in that environment, you know, if you see abundance, or if that kind of negativity just never got to you, life, opportunities, people, everything is going to show up for you differently. Because you're looking for different things to show up. You have different expectations. Okay, Marian has a question over here that hasn't shown up over here yet for some reason. It almost looks like if you pin it over here, it's not showing up over here or whatever. Let's see. Let me just look at what we've got over here. Nino says, as I always say, everybody uses law of attraction, some consciously, some unconsciously. Right. Well, yeah. Because the law of attraction is, see, it's not, I don't even think about it as something you use. Even though I'm sure I use that terminology. It just is. And you're either intentional about it, your interaction with it, or not. But you're always, because you're energy, you're part of it. You can't get off the grid. All right, well, anyway, Marian says, if I'm asking for something, isn't that showing that I don't have it and I'm in a place of lack? Well, no. Because, I mean, it's the energy around the asking. Because it's a creation like this, if you don't have something in your life that you want, you should be filled with a sense of wonder of manifesting it, because it's in your mind, it's in your space, it's in your reality, it's just not in front of you. What you're asking now is to bring it forth in front of you. This idea, this concept, this passion, this dream, this goal, you'd like to experience in the physical. So you visualize it and you understand what that would be like, what it would feel like, how your life would be changed. All those things that we talk about in the group all the time. It's not, it really is about you. It's not about lack. It's about adding to what you have, not noticing what you don't. If that makes any sense. It's really just a mindset. It's just a mindset. Now, if you go into it and say, I don't have this, so I want it, then that's a law of attraction 101 that I talk about, is that most people are focused on the problem of what they don't have, and they're trying to, and it's the same thing as asking the wrong questions. So all your visualization, meditation, whatever techniques and tools you use, they're about generating a new exciting feeling, not filling a gap. Holly says, I'm a very biblical based person, and I'm very comfortable with marrying LOA into my beliefs. One scripture that has helped me is Ephesians 4:6. God is all over and through and all. I'm going to say that wrong, but you can read it. No, you can't actually. God is over all, through all, and in all. Over all, through all, and in all. The magic of punctuation. Okay, see, here's what's happening. This is about to be lukewarm, and after that, it's undrinkable. We've only got a few more minutes here. By the way, thank you for your questions. Because you were so filled with questions, I've got 2 other questions that I thought, well, if they don't have questions, I can always ask these. And they're both great. But they'll have to wait, either till next Tuesday or the next time I do a Q&A if I decide to do it sooner, which I might ramp up the number of these as we get closer to the launch of our next session of 90-day group coaching. Several of people in this room right now have gone through that. They just can't get enough, see? Shouldn't that tell you something? Yeah, they just spent 90 days with you and they're hanging out with you on this free Q&A thing. How much you paying them? Just paying them with good vibes, toys, and crazy teeth. It may not seem like a lot to you, but ask these people. Okay. Bruno was asking a great question that I'm glad he asked, and it's a great one to close this out with. What do you say to a person who can't visualize? How do you start if you don't know? So here's the thing. I did this whole talk one time about visualization because, there are people who have never seen. So how are they supposed to visualize, right? So to me, when in this law of attraction conversation, visualization is about creating an emotional response using your imagination. Let's read that again. Creating an emotional response, thus vibrational response, by using your imagination. So whether you're imagining pictures or just what you think it might feel like, there's something calling to you. You don't need to analyze it so much, and you don't need to worry about the pictures become. I'm not a in terms of visualization, I myself do not get these photographic, I get glimpses of, it's a vague sort of, it's visualizing, but it does the job. It gives me it triggers the feelings, it triggers the emotions, and that's all it's supposed to do. So don't let this idea that you don't know how to visualize taint this and make you think that, oh, it's not going to work for me or I'm doing it wrong. Because as long as you can generate the emotion, that's all that matters. And it doesn't matter what visualization technique or whatever you use to get there. So it can be pictures in your head, it can be vision boards, it can be just writing things out, or it can just really be just laying there and basking in the feeling that you want to experience. Okay, hold on. I'm just reading. I've got so many of these things. Wow, we really opened a can of worms with the universe/God conversation. Look, I know that it's a very important conversation for a lot of people, and a lot of people struggle with it, the very thing, and it really deserves more time than I gave it here in a general Q&A, and maybe one of these days I'll do something devoted directly to that. But I do address it in other, like on YouTube. You can go to YouTube. I don't know the URL right offhand, even though I think I have a shortcut to it somehow, somewhere. But if you just go and search the Wealth Beyond Reason channel, there's something there about law of attraction, science, and religion, or something like that. It was done a very long time ago, but I dig into it there. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week. Let's see, if I push the right button, it'll be even better. That'll do it for this week. Ask your questions throughout the week, anytime, on any of the Bob Doyle Show timelines, my personal timeline, YouTube, wherever, whatever. Ask the questions. I love answering them. That is why I'm here. And to share a little bit of something that occurs to me the morning of when I do this. That's how it always happens. Thank you all for being here, both on YouTube and Facebook. And I will see you as soon as I see you, and not a moment before.